Hello, gentlemen. How are my Nubian kings doing today? Welcome to Cafe Del Paris. It's Lady Mocha, of course, doing another video. I actually had a gentleman who inboxed me recently, and basically, I guess him and his wife or his girlfriend, fiance, whatever, was going through some issues, and basically, they just couldn't reach a common ground and come to a reasonable agreement with their relationship. She was giving him a hard time, being difficult with him, I guess, because financially they wasn't in a good place, and she was comparing their struggles to how her other girlfriends are doing so much better than they are, and they need a bigger house and things of this nature. And basically, he just got frustrated trying to please her and burden himself any further with putting himself in debt, trying to accommodate her. So basically, they end up going their separate ways. And, he reached out to me and he told me that, he really did not want to move on and start another relationship because he'd been with this woman a very long time. They had kids together, a lot has been invested, and, he just really loved his wife or whatever, and he just wasn't really trying to move on anything, but she took it upon herself to, I guess, move out, and they separated for a while or whatever the case is. So his question to me was, what can I do to try to win her back? What can I do to try to, make her realize that she's making a big mistake? And the advice that I gave him is the advice I'm getting ready to give to all of you men out there. And I know I'm going to have a lot of females that's going to be in their feelings about it, but I really don't give a rat's behind them too much about it, because females get in their feelings anyway. Females get in their feelings when somebody done ate the last piece of cornbread in the house and ain't nobody tell them. So I'm not tripping about that. But to answer that question, if you really want a woman to see your worth, and you still have a love for her, and you really ain't trying to, get back out there like that and start all over and reinvest in somebody else, the best trick you can utilize is allowing her to see that you can treat another woman better. Okay? I'm telling you, it's the oldest trick in the book, and it may not seem like nothing, but I've seen most women who have given in to their relationships and their marriages only was because they was threatened by the new woman that came in the picture that was getting all the good treatment. Because let me tell you something, man. Sometimes women can get so used to being treated good. They can get used to that. It's sad, but sometimes a woman could get used to you buying her flowers, could get used to you paying her bills, could get used to you, taking her out to dinner, showing her doing nice things for her. She can really get accustomed to that, especially if y'all been together for years. And what tends to happen over the years, you have problems, things come up, you're going to deal with situations. And when things like that come up, all of a sudden, all of your kindness, all of your, good efforts are thrown out the window depending on what's going on at the moment. Because right now, y'all behind on the mortgage. Y'all a couple of months behind on the mortgage. So you have to tighten up. You can't take her to dinner for a couple of weeks like you used to could do every weekend, because it's a change and adjustment. Things come up in life, things happen where we just can't always have what we're used to having, and some of us could adjust to those changes and some of us cannot. But I swear to you, I have never seen, the only time I've seen women really give in and go back to their relationships or their husbands is when they see another woman come in the picture. I've seen it happen so many times. I've seen women, act like they so much happier. They not with their man no more, and I'm happy, I'm in a good place. They be on Facebook all the time, or, Facebook bragging and acting like they happy being alone. They happy that you gone, and they ain't got to deal with this and they ain't got to deal with that. They do all that trash talking, but the moment they even sense another woman is in the picture, you will see a totally different side to them that you've never seen before. I've seen some women talk so much big trash about, oh, he ain't this and he ain't that and he ain't nobody and I'm through with him. And as soon as they run into this man and he with another woman, especially if she's an attractive woman and a woman that's about something, because one thing about women, I hate to say it, but women are very petty creatures. And meaning that they are always constantly in comparison to one another. And that's just a bad thing that all women have. We're always in comparison. We're always looking at the next chick and sizing her up. We sizing her up, trying to see what she got that, you know, that we don't have. You know what I'm saying? It's just always been like that. Females have always had the bad habit of sizing each other up to each other. Yeah, he done pick up that slut and she done been with all kind of men and blah, blah, blah. They want you to pick up somebody that's trashy. So that way they can have a reason to clown you or to insult you. And anything to make themselves feel good for leaving you in the first place. Any way to convince themselves of making it seem like walking out on you or not fighting for their relationship was the best decision they could have made. Sometimes it's sad, but sometimes a woman wants to see a man fail so she could feel like, you know, that's confirmation for her that, you know what, I'm glad I left him. Look at him, he's still down and out. He had no more. He still ain't got nothing with him no more than what he last had when I was with him. It's sad, but sometimes women, we do it with each other the same way too. Women don't mind seeing a man fail, especially if it's a man that they done gave up on, you know. So the last thing a woman wants to do, especially if it's a woman that has given up on you, is see you rise above it all, meaning that, you know, while she thinking she did you a disfavor by walking out your life and leaving you and not, you know, being woman enough to stand through and endure the good times and the bad times. And I ain't talking about no disrespectful crap now, because some of y'all men take stuff too far. If you cheating and messing with a best friend or somebody in her family, and some things are just way beyond the code now. Because some of y'all be violating. So I'm not going to drag all women, but I'm talking about for the simple fact that if you know you're a good man and you're a provider, you know, and you maintain, and for the good part, for the most part, y'all had y'all problems, because every relationship does. But for the most part, you know, you've been the one kind of keeping your family, you know, grounded and whatever the case is. And this ungrateful broad, you know, is up here, you know, not willing to endure and go through, you know what I'm saying, and sustain, weather the storms. You know, you got to be able to weather the storms. I don't care who you are, what you are, how much money you got, because things got a way of changing. You know, you could be on top today and you could fall tomorrow. And you got to be able to adjust. That's what marriage is about. Marriage is about adjusting. Not only adjusting and loving each other when things are going good, but you got to support each other when things are going bad. But I'm telling you, nothing gets to a woman worse than seeing you treat another woman better. Because what a lot of women are finding out here, and this is a secret that I really don't like to really tell too many men, but if I'm going to keep it real, I'm going to keep it real. The thing is, guys, y'all have an advantage. Men, y'all have a big advantage than us. And I'm going to tell you why. Y'all can always get a relationship. A woman can't always get no relationship. She could get, you know, DICK. She can always get that. That's nothing. Now, that we can always get more than y'all. I mean, well, not literally like that. But what I'm saying is, a woman could easily, you know what I'm saying? I mean, when it come to the sex, that's nothing. A woman could get that handed on a silver platter. We ain't got to beg for it. I mean, that's just something we're privileged to get on the daily. But the one thing a woman can't get that a man can always get, and that's a relationship. Woman can't just run out here and just get no man and just lock into her life and love her and be there for her like that. Men, y'all get a relationship before we can. Because you know why? It's always a woman out there who's wanting a relationship. That's why. A man can always get a relationship. A woman cannot always get a relationship. I'm telling you, she can't. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of them know it, and they're not gonna tell you that. That's the reason of them wearing all these tight ass clothes and, you know, dressing real provocative. Constantly on Facebook, posting very revealing pictures, or always got the pose and showing how big their butt is to constantly feel validated. Women are emotional creatures, and they need to feel validated all the time. That's why a lot of them do the stuff that they do, and it comes off slutty, but a lot of it is just attention seeking. And some of them so desperate, they don't care if they get bad attention as long as it's attention. It's like a child who acting out and throwing tantrums on the floor, spitting up, screaming, hollering, and kicking, all because he want a toy and can't get it. And that's just an example, really, just to put y'all on deck. I guarantee you, I've seen a lot of women talk trash, and as soon as they see their old man move on, and he's doing good, and he got him a nice, real classy woman that keep herself up real good, dress real nice, that kills her to her soul. That will kill her to her spirit, especially if you get a female that's nowhere on her level. Oh my gosh. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's like, going from a doggone living in a mobile home trailer to a 5-bedroom mansion. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it kills her to her spirit to see that you're doing well with somebody else, because it's sad, but some females don't know your potential, your true potential, until they see you give it to somebody else. They could have had it the whole time and it ain't meant nothing. And now, she see you pulling up with your new woman, and you in your car, and y'all going out to dinner, y'all doing big things, because this woman stood by you, and was willing to accept you, even when you was at your lowest point, or either she helped you through your lowest point. And now this broad, she in her feelings because, she realizing, that all this bitch picking and, bitching about stuff and complaining about everything, you know what I'm saying? She go out there and she realized, you know what, I could have endured that. I could have found a way to deal with that. They get out there and find out it ain't all what it's cracked up to be. I don't care how tight they wear their dresses, how small they wear their bras so they show their cleavage. The club scene get old. The Facebook, posting on Facebook every other day, half naked, all that stuff get old. A woman wants to be wanted. Let me tell you something. Even the most hoish woman wants to be treated like a queen. She wants to be treated like she's special. They may act like that's something that they don't want, but a lot of them, even the most, like I said, even the most sluttiest women, I don't care if she's a stripper or she a prostitute, or in the neighborhood, women want to be treated like queens. At some point, you get tired of, especially as you're getting older, women, we get older, things change physically with us. You don't have that same type body you had when you was in your 20s. You get older, and especially if you wasn't one that really took care of yourself during your youth. Like if you was young, if you meet a woman that was young and she got out there really fast at a young age, she may be 28, 29 and look like she damn near 40, because you just picked you up a young woman that lived pretty rough. And sometimes, it reflects on their face, reflects on their body. They start aging significantly. And, I ain't talking about putting on weight and stuff. That's natural. I'm talking about you just start looking hard in the face. You could just look at a woman and tell when she been through a lot, when she done been ran through. You know what I'm saying? So I've seen many relationships where a woman sit up there and talk all kind of trash and try to make a man feel less of a man. You ain't got this, you ain't got that. You could get the so and so out my house, and you ain't got nothing and I had to help you and blah, blah, blah. Turn around and see you get with somebody that's willing to embrace you and your flaws, and it kills her to her spirit. Be the same one turn around, oh, you act like you ain't got no family. Oh, it was that easy for you to move on? Oh, you not thinking about the kids. You ain't thinking about this, thinking about... Hell, you wasn't thinking about it when you was out there wilding. A lot of them don't want to come back till they get out there and realize, they ain't that same young, type body young girl that could just go out there and grab any man she want. Go out there in the club scene and realize, they nothing compared, physically. They got nothing compared to these young girls. I mean, the new generation keep coming up each and every day. You ain't always gonna be no young, fine, young broad to get all the men and get everybody. Eventually, you get each time go on, you getting older and older. You're not gonna get the same amount of attention in your 40s and 50s that you used to get in your 20s. A lot of them get out there and find that out and see that, brothers ain't checking for them like they used to. Now they want to come back home. Now they want to go back to being a wife because they tired of being had. Or you got some of them, they go out there, been in them streets, been with this person, that person, and been had so much. They tired of being just had. They finally want to be kept. It's all kind of dynamics to the game out there. But I'm telling you, sometimes, they people don't see your worth. Sometimes these women don't see your worth till another female comes along, helps you clean up a little bit, is willing to accept you and embrace you with your flaws or whatever, And, the thing is, you just got to be careful, though. You don't want to play games. Don't step out there and lead another woman on just to spitefully try to get back at somebody who you know you still got feelings for, because now you're bringing another human being in your mess that ain't got nothing to do with it. But, that's definitely one thing that I can co-sign on. If you want a woman to really see your worth, let her see how much you can give and provide to the next woman. Once she sees that, I guarantee you will have her straight in your pocket. Nah, if you was one that was never no good and abusive and never worked and never handled your business, of course she not going to give a rat's behind who you end up with, because you just disposable anyhow. But if you a man of good quality and good character, believe you me, she is not going to sit back and happy and see you move on happily with somebody else, and she's just going to accept it, especially if you're a good dude. So anyway, I'm going to sign off, and basically, any comments, any questions, y'all welcome to inbox me. I will most likely leave my email, I guess, at the bottom of the video, so on the link. So y'all can hit me up if y'all have any questions or any suggestions or any other topics you think you feel I may need to discuss. This is Lady Mocha, and I'm signing off. Y'all have a blessed one.